Hi, my name is Octavia. In this video, I would like to show you a bit about the Lion's Gate, which means not the esoteric New Age label, but something else. May happening at the new moon on the 8th of August or later on the 22nd. We may see what I mean with that. As you see in this first image, in this first slide, I'm comparing the constellation of Leo, not the horoscope sign, the constellation of Leo with the Sphinx, because there is evidence that this is a symbolism regarding the time when at the equinox the sun was rising in Leo. So from the age of Leo, which will be somehow in opposition then to the age of Aquarius we are about to enter. So let's start this journey a bit. First, on the structure of this video, I would like to give you rather an overview of certain aspects or certain topics than an astrological interpretation. I'm starting what Dreamspell may have to do with what we call the Lion's Gate, that it may not similar to the New Age concept, but in this year a lot of stuff is different. Therefore, I look at the 8th of August and the 22nd of August on new and full moon with Sabian symbols, the celestial view and the horoscope view. I would give energetic recommendations and a little bit of a resume or an overview again. So, there is something called the Heliacal rising of Sirius. That was a feast that was known in Egypt. It was the main festivity to find out when Sirius was rising with the sun, which is the meaning of Heliacal. And it showed that the Nile was about to flood, so it was a very important time. When Regulus had visions about the Mayan calendar, he was initiated in the Jaguar clan, so he was in knowledge and already following the original true count. But he realized that Sirius will be the main focus in the coming time, no longer the Pleiades, because the Mayan calendar is a bit, in my view, a connection to the Pleiades. And he aligned it with the Heliacal rising of Sirius. This happens around the 24th to the 26th of July each year in Cairo at the pyramids. So there is always a new beginning in the Heliacal, in the Dreamspell year on 26th each year. 25th is the day out of time. So 25th is the Heliacal rising Sirius at the pyramids, and 26th of July each year is the starting of the Dreamspell, the adaptation of the Mayan calendar by Regulus. It's too complex now for this video, but just that in my view, he was able to align towards Sirius as a new energy. And to this, Alice Bailey said, the full moon in Leo in the age of Aquarius will be the main festivity of the year. So there is an emphasis towards this festivity in the time to come. In my view, it is not the same as the what in New Age circles is circulating as Lion's Gate. Whenever I hear someone explaining the Lion's Gate, it is not what is happening in the celestial realms. For instance, Sirius is aligning with the belts of Orion. Sirius is always in alignment with the belts of Orion. And the sun is not aligning on the 8th of August with... it depends on the degrees where you are, on the latitude. Where Sirius is the Heliacal rising star. So from the 24th of July up until end of August, midst of September, Sirius is Heliacal rising star in more and more northern hemispheres. But at this time of the year, it is an alignment that is happening at the pyramids. And in my view, the pyramid connection from the southern continent, like South America, and the other side of the Atlantic, the southern part of Africa, or the northern part to be precise. So the pyramid structure in South America and the pyramid structure in Africa, these civilizations are combined in the way the Dreamspell is functioning. This is my view on it. We are about to enter in this year. In fact, we are in it. I'm doing this video on the 5th of August. So we already entered the yellow electric seed, but we are in the first month. Nevertheless, we had a huge energy leading towards this entrance into the yellow electric seed. Electric tone means not necessarily what we call electric. It is one form to consider the energy of the sun. Electricity, but not only in the sense of what we call electricity, maybe also in the sense of Tesla, but more in terms of the pranic energy, which is more neutral. Nevertheless, in the electric energy, we may consider that technology may have an issue, or we may have an issue with technology, because one part of the road of unfoldment of the light body is that there may be electricity problems coming the more and more we unfold the light body, and that technology is affecting Earth in not so good ways. A seed can also be very animalistic or physical, the semen, not only of man, but also of animals. There are seeds in mind, there are seeds of thought, there are celestial seeds. The sun is having seeds in terms of thought forms or programs or waves that it's emitting. There is a noosphere, which means the mind of Gaia, where we can have access to. There are seeds, eternal seeds of Gaia implemented where the way she wants to unfold. We can have spiritual seeds. We have otherworldly seeds, for instance, from civilizations. But also each life can be a seed to us. So if you believe in incarnation, each incarnation is a seed, and also this one, therefore, too. Also, each project can be a seed. Just to mention some of the issues going on in the year to come. And one of the stuff is happening. I seal the input of flowering. It is about flowering in this year, but with service. Not as a servant, but in service to humanity, in service to life, in service to Earth. So with a certain attitude. I would like to show you a bit of the energy before we entered. So on the 24th of July, which I said already that this was the Heliacal rising in Egypt. It started there. We had a full moon. Mercury was near Wasat. This is the planet here in Pollux, which is the testicles of Pollux. Testicles are usually considered storage of seeds of man. It is not the first time that the Wasat, the testicles of Pollux, were activated. It was also on the 10th of July. There was a new moon taking place exactly on Wasat, the testicles. So we have, I thought that it was a time to consider the dark side of patriarchal sexuality. a lot of issues come up around that, or came up around that moon. For instance, the Native American graves that were found in the children's home in Canada, or rapes happened that were or are very disturbing. It is one part of the issue. So patriarchic behavior regarding sexuality and regarding heritage, regarding what is called an heir or what is called a child, is one of the issues. But then look what also happened, because if you consider the full moon on the 24th of July, Sun was coming to Cancer on the sky, not in the horoscope, in the sky. Mercury was near Wasat, but Jupiter was in the hip area of Aquarius. The hip, the wound on the side of the water bearer, reminds me a lot about the Fisher King. The water bearer in the sky holds a kind of bowl where the water is flowing out. Water of life am I poured forth for thirsty mankind. And he has one foot on the world koi, so on the fish that is representing part of creation. Nevertheless, here is the hip, and here is Jupiter. And Jupiter will remain in this area in the coming days. So we have an activation of human signs. Twins and Aquarius are human expressions in the sky. And we have one part that the hip or the side is activated, and here that the testicles are activated or hit. And with that energy, we went into the new year, the electric seed year. This is how the sky looks on the 8th of August. We will have a new moon in between Cancer and Leo in the sky. In the horoscope, we will have it in Leo, but in the sky, the sun and the moon will almost be in the Cancer area. So it is not an activation of Leo and the Sphinx, just to say. Wanted to show you here, this is Orion's belt. This is Sirius. They are always in that constellation, and the sun is not activating stuff like here. At least not in this form of astrology. The sun is not in alignment with that in a matter as it is usually called the Lion's Gate. But the sun is approaching what we call Sphinx. Mercury and Mars will be on each side of Regulus. Regulus is the kingmaker, or the king's star. It is one of the Persian stars of royalty towards the king, a philosopher king, a wise king, if revenge can be avoided. There are a lot of myths going on around this Regulus star, and some are about heirs, that the sons are not pleased the way that the heritage will be provided to them, and start a fight. And so when the king is entering that fight, that the whole family will vanish and stuff like that. So Regulus is a wise king. It is a wise government that is looking out for people and looking for a real distribution of wealth, so that everybody is satisfied in the way it is possible. So Mars and Mercury already show that Regulus will be activated somehow, while Venus is traveling towards Virgo in the sky. To look at the Sabian symbol on the 8/8, which is called in New Age term Lion's Gate. A volunteer church choir singing religious hymns. It is about togetherness, which unites men and women in their dedication to a collective goal. It is a volunteer church choir, not a professional one. So it is really about something to share and a longing to together reach higher in training, in working together in cooperation. In Dreamspell, it will be the red electric earth. So we have electric again, and this time connected with earth. So the 8/8 so-called Lion's Gate will be quite an activation towards the new year energy of the electric seed. Because the seed and the earth will meet in the electric quality. In a horoscope, we will have a yacht between Pluto, Neptune, and Mercury. And in the middle of that yacht is Jupiter. Remember, Jupiter at the side or at the hip of Aquarius. A yacht is a finger, or a finger, how you say in English? If the finger points towards something and says, hey, watch out. It's called a finger of God. And it is a very interesting combination because the quality of the aspect is rather Neptunian. So it can be a spiritual thing, but it can also be an illusion, a delusion, a kind of addiction, stuff you cannot get rid of that easily, that is creating a bit of a veil that you may not see clearly, but on the other hand, it looks clearly. So you think it is in opposition, but it isn't. It is a 150-degree aspect. It is not a complete opposition with 180 degree. So Mercury and Jupiter are opposing each other, which makes it a boomerang. So in that case, it means that the energy is flowing around and around and around, because every point in here wants to look at the issue. And Mercury and Jupiter will blow it up. So Mercury wants to talk about it and Jupiter makes it bigger. While the real issue, power in government or power in structure, transformation of our life, of the structure of our life, Neptune, how we deal with water, how we deal with oil, whether it is spiritual, our journey, or not, whether there are challenges in weather regarding water or missing water, all of that is avoided because the energy tries to focus to talk about other issues. Wealth, luxury, maybe, but maybe not. Maybe we talk about other issues. So the energy is rather going around in here. It will be interesting to watch. I'm therefore stressing also the Sabian symbols, because the Sabian symbols of the full moon and the new moon were very precise. In the new moon, there was a canoe boat where people wanted to build a canoe, but on the other hand, even though they were prepared to go to another shore, they did not want to leave. And on the 24th, it was an epidemic of mumps, a children's disease that was not taken care of the time when it came, when it was in the beginning, but now it started to really get bigger and bigger, and we are in an epidemic. And the other Sabian symbol was a thunderstorm hitting unexpectedly, which is what is happening right now. We have climate catastrophes. Living in Germany, we had really heavy floodings, flash floodings that killed a lot of people, came absolutely unexpected. Within minutes, houses were flooded, so people couldn't get out. We have the heat wave in the Mediterranean Sea with a lot of fires going on. We had the heat wave in California. So we have unexpected weather and also unexpected thunderstorms. Here in Europe, we had really weather circling around and staying where it was, therefore creating these floods. So the Sabian symbols were quite precise. We are therefore here in a volunteer church corps, which would mean togetherness on a voluntary basis. We have a lot of voluntary stuff going on, helping the people in the flooded area. We may need a hand on issues that are going on, but maybe we are not talking about the real issues. This is the horoscope for Europe. The new moon on the 8th of August will occur in the midday, so around 12 o'clock. You have to check your local time to see when it is happening to you, or maybe get an accurate reading of the horoscope for your country or your area where you're living in. A lot of issues are building up also. We have Sun, Moon square to Uranus. Uranus is in a wide square to Saturn anyway. It is now releasing the grip of it. It will return in November, December. So we had during the eclipse season, May and June, we had a square between Saturn and Uranus, which will occur again in November, December. We have to be through with the topics in November, December, when the square will be exact again for almost a month again. But now the sun is activating this. The sun is saying, hey, did you learn the lesson? What is it about? And we are looking from the Leo side and not necessarily the Aquarian side of life, even though we had the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction in Aquarius for the first time since 800 years. And for the first time since 200 years after 200 years of Saturn-Jupiter conjunction Earth signs. I did also videos on that. You may check them. So also in English I have one. But now to the good part. This is the 22nd of August. And we are having Sun activating Regulus. There will be a full moon happening on the Leo-Aquarius axis also in the sky, and the moon will join Jupiter in the hip, in the side of Aquarius. So the Fisher King theme will be activated again through the moon, while the sun will be exactly on Regulus. You cannot see it in the sky because the sun is in Leo, therefore it is in the midst of the sky. But the full moon will be exactly here. But now look at the Sabian symbols. We have an unsealed letter, the realization by the individual that all thoughts, all messages are inevitably to be shared with all men. The fact that the letter is unsealed does not imply a trust that other people will not read its contents, but rather the idea that the contents are for all men to read. Nothing can be really hidden except superficially for a brief time, because if there is a thought, it is in the one mind of humanity. And if you are aligned with the one mind of humanity, you know that thought. We have telepathy, whether you know it or not. You do not need to be in a secret society. You do not need to be mind controlled to be telepathic. Telepathy is our natural language. We are always communicating with each other. And if God speaks to man, man hears the words. Nothing can remain permanently sealed. And that what comes from within the mind of a man belongs to all men. Communication and sharing must always prevail over the will to glorify oneself by claiming sole possession of ideas and information. So we will reach a point where the cosmos is telling us There will be a revelation. You can no longer hold back information and wisdom. And where will the moon be? Deeply rooted in the past of a very ancient culture, a spiritual brotherhood in which many individual minds are merged into the glowing light of an unanimous consciousness is revealed to one who has emerged successfully from his metamorphosis. It is the ability for the person with an open mind and a deep feeling for self-transcendence to come in contact with higher forms of existing. It's about a conscious totality of being, and this is mind-blowing. This is the reason why I'm doing this video, also in English. I do not know whether you know the term Terma or Terton. Terma is a hidden treasure, a hidden library that can be physical or it can be in the etheric as seed. It can be given into the mind when the vibration is ready and when the culture is ready to perceive this knowledge. And there are various hidden libraries and sacred spaces on Earth. I know about one, at least in England, and one hidden library is below the Sphinx. The entrance is between the paws of the Sphinx. You go through the throat or the chest. So when the sun is on Regulus, we have this as Sabian symbols, unsealed, whatever, and I think that the Hall of Amenti may open. There was a large, very large world meditation 11 years ago, 2010 in Seattle, where 500,000 people participated. It was called the Hall of Amenti. And it was about to open the libraries either etherically or physically below the Sphinx. I cannot tell that everything will be found physically. I cannot really know whether it is really opening, but all signs show me it may open. In Dreamspell, we have the blue self-existing monkey. The monkey is the mind, the monkey mind, the little and the bigger thoughts. And in the Hindu tradition, when someone is having a monkey mind, someone is having a lot of illusions, a lot of playtime in their mind, not really concentrated in thinking on higher ideas. So even in Dreamspell, the monkey shows that there is an emphasis on the mind, that it is about clarity, about playfulness, but then through the mind, something can happen. This is a whammy for me. And really, I think that the libraries, at least the etheric libraries of the halls of Amenti, are opening, which could mean that we gain access to information and wisdom that we need in this time, but we get it into the mind. So the mind, the monkey mind, needs to be ready. No brotherhood can prevent the opening, but the brotherhood provided that the knowledge was intact through all the times. So whoever brotherhood there was, it is time to stop fighting, because now is the time to open it. This is the time where all of the seals, all of the fights, how to contain knowledge is ceasing, because this is the time of the opening. Sun and Regulus between the paws of the Sphinx, with Jupiter and the moon in Aquarius at the hip, at the side of the Fisher King, that almost forgot that the Grail was next to his side. It is so deeply loaded with mythology images that it takes my breath away. And again, whoever is fighting or whoever is still trying to be in a, oh, I'm in this brotherhood mood, is in the wrong time. You may need to incarnate a few centuries earlier. Now is no longer the time for that. Now is the time to reveal. Now is the time to come forward with the knowledge. Terton is, by the way, someone who finds Terma. The hidden treasures, the hidden libraries, and usually it comes through the mind. In that, the Dreamspell is also a Terma, and Argedas was a Terton. He found on one hand the main calendary, but that was already open. It was almost destroyed by the Catholic Church. Nevertheless, it was a wisdom that was kept. But the way he realized it and pointing the dream spell towards Sirius is a Terma, a Terton, and a lot of knowledge that came since through it. One of the themes of the there is a prayer we do in the dream spell quality. It's the prayer to the 7 galactic directions, and one of the things is from the north house of night, may wisdom ripen in us so we may know all from within. And this is the time to know all from within, so that you may get information coming from this library opening. Therefore, it may be a kind of lion gate, but not the one that the New Age term speaks about. And this is not going over or close. This remains. It stays open when it opens. If humanity is ready to perceive it, it stays open. It is about, are we ready to perceive it? I think that there will be a flood of energy. This time the sun forms the yacht. Mars will be aligned with Mercury. There is the tendency to fight with words. There is the tendency to fight. There may be aggression breaking loose for whatever. We have a grand trine in the sky, so there is the tendency trying to be in that trine and feeling nice. It's not about that. We have again the yacht. This time the moon joins Jupiter. The sun forms it. We have the problematic of governments not functioning. We have the problematic that there may be upheaval, that there may be the attempt to grip in power from kings who were not good to their people. We have there's a lot of stuff going on there. There's a possibility and a lot of issues here, and kind of aggressive possibilities. We have also 144 and a 72-degree formation in the sky. So there are a lot of chances going on. And there is a circulation where the energy can blow up things, where you mean, I mean, this is Venus, Saturn with the nodes. We can create aesthetic and harmony and lasting structures in a new age qualification and in a new age time. New age means Aquarian Age, because Venus is the co-ruler of the Aquarian Age, as it is about right human relation and the way we interconnect with each other, the rules of aesthetics, the law of attraction and all of that. But this here means we have a lot of issues going on, trying to avoid looking at the issues. We will create energy and energy and energy, and it might blow up stuff, so that some power issues may turn violent. And patriarchy might still get a last roar in that. So it will not be an easy. condition. But even the horoscope now says something big is going on with this yacht. It is the yacht twice, formed each time differently. So I'm looking very curiously towards this. And now my energy tip. And I really enjoy the green. It's the same as in the German video. The moment when I see the leaves, I so much enjoy it. Which means that I'm starting with one of the last points. Go into nature. We need chlorophyll. It could be that we have problems due to Mars being in Virgo. Virgo is the digestion tract. If you have problems with digestion, if you have problems with nutrition and eating, try to get chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a mental enzyme, according to Seth Jane Roberts, and humanity needs green to unfold the inner senses and to digest mental ideas. Please enjoy nature. Not only I enjoy it because I need it in order to get access to the whole of Amenti. This is not the quality that I mean. Enjoy nature because nature is a help. And we get this knowledge to survive with nature. We need to turn around issues here on Earth in order to come to a more harmonic state with Earth and with technology and with life, with animals. We have the sixth Mars extinction. We have so many issues going on. And we need a good realignment with nature. But to start from the beginning, we had a solar eclipse. According to Bernadette Brady, we have the opening to insight and intuition. That was the solar eclipse in June. Therefore, the inner senses are very important. In the body, Mars is the transformer, how do you say? It is the bringer of the messages. So Mars is the energy impulse in the nervous system that is dealing with the impulses, that is dealing with information. So Mars rules the inner senses on that physical level. It will be very important how Mars is dealing with that, because people can turn aggressive because there is an overflow of information into the nervous system and they are not aware how to deal with it. And if you belong to these people, go into nature. Please. Surround yourself with green. It is important to train the ability to perceive, to digest, reflect, to ponder, and to use this information. You will not be in a flow of information and now be omnipotent. And you, my dear, may also not the high priest of the halls of Amenti, holder of the, as Loxana Troy may say it, holder of the sacred ring of Betazoid. It's not about that. If the flow is starting, every person gets insight and wisdom on their level of being. You will not be enlightened. It will not be one stream and then it is gone. You may get downloads or where you have the feeling, oh, I'm getting so much, all of a sudden so many images and all of a sudden so many thoughts. Oh, now they are gone. No, they are not gone. Your body stored them somewhere, even though you were not aware. So it is about how to deal with this information, how to access then the place of storage where you stored it according to your information, according to your incarnations. And remember, if they open, when they open, they are open. It is a library. You go inside, and then it is up to you to pick a book or a scroll. This is not that someone is telling you all you never wanted to hear or always wanted to hear. It is something that is done by attempt, by meditation, by reflection, by dreams, by pondering on it. Ponder on it, what Troy say. Which means do not only meditate Ask yourself, how can this knowledge contribute to solving a problem? How can it be a help in a problematic situation? Because you are the connection of that wisdom to reality. It is not that all people now sit and know everything. It is about putting this information into wise action to form a better life. If you may deal with the overload of the inner senses, I have a suggestion of an exercise. It is about breathing thankfulness or appreciation. In Huna, it is called Piku Piku breathing. It is, for instance, the in-breath at the heart chakra or the heart area, and then you fill it with thankfulness, and then you breathe it out on a part of your body. I would suggest to take the first in and out breaths on the heart, and then an out breath to the organs, an out thankfulness out breath to the nervous system, thankfulness out breath to the external senses, the inner senses, the temple area, because the temple area is sometimes a part where telepathy takes place. The front head is the part where the empathic telepathy takes place. The neck area, the altar major chakra, is the part where the out-of-body telepathy takes place. The solar plexus is the part where the astral telepathy takes place. The brain and the higher mind is the part where the mental telepathy takes place. So if you breathe thankfulness into that, you can help these areas to relax and to be able to perceive. The second exercise that I'm suggesting is the holon of ascension. And the third one is the ecstasy of the heart breath exercise. You find that on Tom Kenyon's homepage. I will put the link to the meditations into the info box. The holon of ascension is therefore important because with it and with that exercise, we did that world meditation of the Hall of Amenti. The Hall of Amenti is, in fact, the song to the New Earth. So if you come across Tom Kenyon's Song of New Earth, a lot of the footage was taken during the Hall of Amenti workshop. So breathing thankfulness into organs and into the senses so that you can help your body accessing. But last but not least, and I mentioned it, ponder on it. How can this knowledge contribute to solving a problem? Also, I want to emphasize something. Every insight and wisdom is always there and available. There is no closing or only one shower of information. It is an opening. And if you do not get the information you want, you have to train yourself about the awareness. If you are, for instance, an electrician, you might get insights on how to use electricity. If you are a doctor, you may get information on healing methods. If you are a musician, you may get insights on how to use music in another way. If you are a waitress or waiter, you may get insights on how to place people in a room so that they may feel comfortable, or how the dishes should look, or how to do another formation on the table so that you raise awareness by anyone who sits on that table. So wherever your focus is, you will get the information about. Again, you may not get the information on the creation of cosmos, and you may not the high priest of Atlantis now finally arriving in the halls of where you always belonged and where everybody is calling your name because they waited on you. It will not be like that. It may not be like that. The information we get is here to apply. And you trained yourself with your likings, with your hobbies, and with what you are doing at work. And these are the first entrance doors for this information. Therefore, use it, ponder on it, apply it. It is really something, if it happens, when it happens, it is about to be applied. Okay, to resume. There is the possibility of the opening of hidden libraries of knowledge and wisdom that kept for a long time, and it is now revealing. Therefore, it is a possibility of an overflow. I'm sorry for this typo. The nervous system and the inner senses. We have the inner ability to perceive and the outer communication technology. But in an overflow, both may be in trouble. So there is the possibility of problems on inner and outer communication technology. Please be patient. Nobody can block you from it. If it is open, it is opened. The unsealed letter is open. We need to translate the information into the here and now, into our time here to be applied. It does not matter what the Egyptians once did. We have to find a way to translate this knowledge into our time. And this is done by any of us. It depends on your own body when the information is flowing and how you trained yourself. Is your body capable? Are your bodies capable, including the emotional body, the mental body? And did you train yourself in a certain area? You do not need to be a crystal healer to get this knowledge. If you are in another profession, you will get the information on that profession so that you can enhance and contribute to humanity on that level. If you don't like the infos or it is not enough, train yourself on other topics, which means be patient. It may take time, but if they are open, they will not be closed again. It is a level of vibration, and if we enter, we can enter, and that's it. The info flows about issues you are interested in. The info flow in itself may be very fast, and you might want to grab stuff. And you may not be used to the fastness of information, but know the information is stored within you. You will gain access in your dreams, you will gain access in relaxed moments, you may gain access in moments when you get in contact with chlorophyll or in nature. So don't hesitate. It can be very, 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 very much, very large, very sudden flashes of pure information. But it is stored. In the moment of realization, you know everything in that. And you can then, when the time is ready and when you ponder on it and when you meditate on it or when you apply it in your area, it will restore itself and you gain access to the whole information the way you are able at that moment. Power and glamour doesn't count. It is not about the whole of the 23rd ring of Batizet. And it is not about the high priest of Avalon and Atlantis. We need to transform and translate the energy and the information to the here and now to be used as a problem solving. If you need training on other areas, do so, and do so with joy and interest, not because you need to. If you need to, the doors stay closed. It is another attitude that is needed to access this information. Playful methods of retraining or especially mind training Vera F. Birkenbiel. I think she's also quite known in the English-speaking countries. Her methods are, in my way, or I think they are superb. Don't expect miracles on the first days. The hidden etheric libraries may open. You can go inside from now on. But you may have to read the storage. You may have to take the scrolls outside the shelves. You have to translate it to your senses of your level of application and then into the time and era. This is the real work that needs to be done. This here. And even if you get a download, know that you store this in your cells, an aura. You have it then. But, and this is for, on the physical plane again, this flow of energy may lead to an escalation and increasing pace or bloating of other problems or issues in politics, weather, social attitudes, as the old astral plane will be in movement. I did also a video on the old and new astral plane. You might consider watching it. I will link it in the info box so that you know what I mean with old or new astral. Moon, Neptune, Jupiter, Pluto, Sun is very heavy because it is really relating to power structure, to government, to transformation themes, to knowledge. And if you block transformation, for instance, in patriarchy, you get resistance in government that may turn towards rather dictatorial, or there will be attempts to overthrow democracy towards dictatorial attitude. It can be very unpleasant, especially if we have a lot of authoritarianism right now in this world. If one of these authoritarian leaders think you stepped on their toes, well, could be that 1 or 2 or 3 test rockets will be fired or stuff like that. So please expect that it might be a bit fuzzy outside. But please, if you can, do the inner work. This is a photo of me so that you know how the face looks of the woman that you heard the voice. And this is one of the sacred sites I travel to usually. It is a site where the lunar standstill were measured 2000 years ago. And this is the sunrise on the 26th, so the beginning of the Dreamspell, so of the electric seed year. May it bless you, and may you have a good time. See ya.